Really?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Got it?
Mhm.
Yes. This is my speaking analysis, and I separate four part. After John gave me some advice after I doing the first video. So I separate for one is the verb tense, and the second is the singular and plural, and also the ending drop sound, and the final one is HR grammar or others issue. And so I separate to these four part in my chart, and the disadvantage of my verb tense is I cannot figure out how to, sometimes how to create my sentence with the appropriate verb tense. I always have the problem on ed. Just it means I have the problem on past tense. Maybe I have the grammar problems. It's confused about when I need to use present tense and when I will use the past tense. And all of those are about ed sounds. And so now I'm discussing. I'm gonna show your all my phone videos with the ed sound and show that how I improve and how I find out these problems.
With Taiwan's download player and cure their homesick.
In here, I didn't pronounce it right. I said cure. I should say cured their homesick. And I didn't mention about the show or short because actually we are normally like to pronounce to say I show something, and I have that problem with the show. He shows, and I showed yesterday, that kind of a thing. And I still consistent to get the problem in the next interview artist. I still have the verb tense problems on the grew and grews app on my 6.
Grooms at USA until 5 years old, and grooms at in the Pakistan, and back to the USA last year.
I should say grews up on the Pakistans. And so I facing this kind of question of these two video, and there is how or what I did I improve those notice mistake, and I find if I need to improve this, I should speak slowly, because sometimes if I didn't speak slowly, I don't have awareness about I should pronounce to the right word with the past tense. And also I think I really need to write the draft because I still have a grammar problem with my even speaking, even writing. So writing the draft is probably more benefit for me to notice that. And I think, how do I know I don't make this mistake? I think sometimes you need to talk with somebody, and you should have the awareness about you need to use what kind of the verb tense before you speaking to the person. For example, I speaking to Nico every morning. Before every class, she always asks us what did we do in the weekend, or what did we do yesterday, and you should respond with the past tense. And I think that's helpful to practice the past tense. And how do I practice is remember, yesterday you should use did, and today you should use present tense. Tomorrow you should use will. And maybe I can describe some daily routine or daily interest with my friend, and I remember use the right tense. And how did I improve when I meet the goals I had set for myself? Actually, I think I didn't improve really well in these problems because sometimes I still forget, and but I mean, overcoming this issue. And what is the positive influence that I incurs outside of the class? Actually, I think the positive way is because I study have the awareness when I speaking something with the tense. I don't really need to know. I don't really need to say the time what I'm doing. I mean, I just say I did something. Maybe I didn't need to say yesterday. If you on casual conversation, the people who I'm talking with, they are notice what I'm talking about the time, the processing of the time. I think that's helpful for my explain my hour, explain my just chatting with the people, and so let's to see the others problem. The singular and the proof. I have this issue. I think it's because I still have a grammar problem about article. Sometimes I forget to put the a color or blah blah, and I have the problem with pronounce. I usually like to add the s in the end, but now I still don't know why. But I like to add the s in the end. Maybe I feel maybe it's the same way because I speak too quickly. I need my sentence with the, fluency, and I will say something unnecessary, an unnecessary word between that. So let me see. The first video I have this issue on.
To beginning with, in the middle of the pictures, the movie player was broadcasting One Night Taipei, which shows Taiwan scenes in a local conversation.
The broadcasting One Night Taipei. Actually, Taipei just one, so I cannot say One Night Taipei. So that's a problem. And the second video, I made this kind of same mistake and really no more.
Of the material she will use. So she started her artworks in many ways. For example, she might
the material she will use. I should add ace because she didn't just use one materials. And also the ways, I should add ways. I should add ace is because just not one way. So that's a problem. And so when I face on this article and the singular and the plural problem, how can I notice that? I think I just need to focus on the article. Maybe sometimes you get the article, you have attention, you have awareness that this is singular or this is plural. And how I know I don't make these kind of mistakes? I think I should speak each word really, read each word very clear, and pause for a second, and continue to speak rest of the sentence. And how did I practice? I think I need to do the echoing. I mean, echoing is a really good thing. I find out Taiwan's some university, they have a resort about echoing. The echoing means when you listen something and you pause for 10 seconds, then you copy that. And that, I think that will really good for you have awareness about how the other people, how they talking, and how you talking like mimic like them, how you copy their talking. Because after 10 minutes, a lot of people cannot speak correctly, cannot speak right pronunciation, cannot speak the right article, and all the disadvantage will show up when you speak individual, when you speak without just immediately record someone. So I think this is a good way to improve this kind of question. And now I still think I didn't really overcome this kind of question, so I still need to focus on the and this kind of problem. And the third part of these two videos is every time these parts are confused because I still cannot find out what I'm drop in the end of the sound. But maybe I find out some about, and those shows up in the first video.
Actually, it is in American, not in Taiwan, but on the upper of the pictures have the four flags word flappings, and those shows up. Actually,
I think the lows, I should pronounce the lows shows up, or the lows shows up. I drop the ed. And the second one, actually, I didn't really notice that about this kind of drop sound because I still feel difficult to identify the drop sound of my pronounce. And how do I improve that? Maybe just speak slowly, and recording and listening repeatedly to progress that, and I maybe cannot find out. And I just say I still feel I cannot overcome in that because maybe I cannot focus on each word. I cannot easier to find out how to pronounce for each word, and I drop the ending of the sound. Anyway, this is still cannot find out how can I improve that. And so I'm talking about some extra mistake I made. Actually, the P is the pronunciations problem. There's math. I should say math, but actually every time I maybe say math. It's weird because that would make my listener confused what I'm talking about. So let us check.
And it math viewers immerse themselves.
I should pronounce it math viewer, not math viewer. Too short, and I confused about math. And the international also including the actual problem. I say, and those shows up. Was in American, not in Taiwan's. But in my video, I said really weird written about
one, but Athens, and those shows up. Actually, it is in American, not in Taiwan.
Yeah, the international have the problem. And the second video have the blanket and the blanket pronunciations problem. And I have the grammar problem about the limited is the adjective, not the noun, and I used the wrong in my sentence. So I got a conclusion about, because I counted the mistake I made. I feel these two video I made is similar mistake. That means I didn't improve. And but I also think because the first one is short, I getting some improvement after the first one video. But because the second one too long, so sometimes mistakes just show up. So I think if I need to speak the long speech, I need to do some draft and to improve that. And also I find out the interviews artist, this video have a problem with I didn't understand report speech, and after Nico taught us, I understand how to use the report speech. So in the interview artists, that one didn't use the report speech, so a lot of patterns is weird. And now the rest of the video is the other two video. The scary story and the film review. I think in film review I did really good because actually I read the draft when I speaking, so I think that is almost really perfect. Really perfect with the verb tense, and but Leo still have a little problem with the article and the singular and the pronoun. And this video I want to focus on the typical pronunciation about the character. In the past, I always pronounce character.
In the movie, which is pastor about the character in the movie and their meaning for.
And I keep going talk the character, actually it's character. And in the scary story, I find out more problem about the verb tense, and I have the conclusion with why I have more mistake on the scare story compared with the film review. It's because scare story is too casual to talk about a story, and I don't have the draft can read, so that will become an issue. And in a scary story, I think I got a similar problem with the singular and the proud. So, but compared with the other two, it's obviously I improved that because I just get 4 on each left 2 video, and the other on the describe scene and the interview artist got 8 and 6, so I probably got improved. And anyway, to conclude with all of the video, I got some conclusion about. I think I have the international problems because I cannot speak like the next speaker reference. And I find out I have the word problem, so I go to the writing center to practice that, and she told me to break down the word. Like if you want to pronounce the word, and you can pronounce well and the word, so that is more clear than I pronounced before, right? Word, and I think what stage do I need to take the reinforce my achievements? I think I just need to set the verb tense as my goal to continue practice, and I will getting better. So that's my presentation.